Why do you make music? I mean, you're on a channel called Make Music Income, so it must be for the money, right? Well, if it's for your job, then maybe, yeah, that's part of it. Especially like today when I'm on a deadline and after I get done with this podcast, I have to hustle and get albums, yes, albums, to 2 different libraries in the matter of today and tomorrow. But the question remains for any of you. Why do you make music? If you're anything like me, and I hope for your sake you are not, you can't not make music. It happens. It has always happened. It will always happen. If that's not true, and you just woke up one day and decided you wanted to make music and maybe some money and get some attention, and if need be, you could just leave it and not come back to it, well, I don't know about you. But for those of you who are lifers, there was never a way to stop. There doesn't seem to ever be a reason that you would stop. This podcast is for you, and I need you to hang with me through it. I will be affirming. I will be encouraging, and this will give you strength and ideas on how to keep going if it's something you struggle with, because I know a lot of people do struggle with this problem. Now, I could retire in 5 years from today, but I would just do this all the time. I would just make music all day, and my brain would continue to come up with ideas if I quit working on music and working for clients and partners and libraries. Oh my. Then I'd have to find a way to realize all of those ideas, and I'd still be in here and I'd still be doing this. It's a vicious circle. It's like a big circle. And much to the chagrin of my wife and my kids and likely you, I can't stop. God made me this way. He's not scared of it. I think he kind of likes it and loves me for it, I hope. Now, I'm getting ready to go away for a week, and I would imagine this is going to be a life and a career-changing experience, a huge growth experience, and I expect to have way more than I need to do when I get back, because we already have way more than we can do. But before I go, I want to talk to you about a few reasons why I do what I do and why you do what you do. In case something happens to me on this adventurous trek, I will have left you with some of the most important advice and ideas and encouragement I can. Could you use some encouragement in doing this gargantuan task of making music your life's work? I think you can. In fact, I knew you could. Welcome to the Make Music Income podcast. My name is Eric Copeland, and I've made a full-time living as a music producer, composer, and arranger for over 25 years. In this podcast, I talk about making music income with music licensing, music production, music streaming, music royalties, being a music composer, arranger, producer, or artist, or really any way that I have in the past or currently now or want to make music income. I have free and paid courses and coaching and ebooks for you at makemusicincome.com/free. Make sure to like this podcast if you enjoy the content, because it really helps, and subscribe if you're just finding the podcast or channel and want to be part of things every week. I hope all this content helps you make the music you love to make and make music income. So welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm glad you're here. Getting ready to go away for a bit to a conference, and so excited about that. But I wanted to talk to you today about some things that I think can help you. But first, as always, I want to talk about the sponsor for today's show, which is me and the Positive Spin Partners program. It's actually you too. My sponsor is you. I am sponsored by my partners, and I come to you with greetings from all Positive Spin partners. And this is just something that happened. We're at about a year now from starting this program, and I think it's pretty transformational. I mean, people in this program are going from 0 to 60, from having no way to make better quality music, make more quantity music, contact music libraries because this is mainly a focused thing about sync, and get into these libraries even if you could contact them, get placements, and of course earn income and build your PRO income and that quarterly music income. Give me a like if that's something interesting to you if you're watching this right now, no matter when, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it later. It helps other people see this video. And I think this is going to be one of those videos that is going to be very helpful to people, because I want you to make the music you love and, of course, make music income. It was in the thing. I just said on the thing. But one of the ways that we work as partners is to make a lot of music and then get sync fees, get buyouts. I just gave buyouts to 5 different people last week. I just got some sync income myself last week. Quarterly royalties came out in August, and that's what we're trying to build up, those PRO quarterly royalties. And I think this is, I know this channel has become a little bit more about that, but I think it's because I feel like sync licensing and licensing your music as making production music, making great songs for shows and things like that and movies. I think it is probably still the best way to build a long-lasting income stream. I'm seeing it happen with me. I'm seeing success stories like my cellist, Alida, who I work with all the time. I'm going to be uploading an album, her 6th or 7th album that we have got into libraries. She has over 100 songs in a year in libraries. Our method of working together as partners and making great music together, and then we don't even have to pitch it. I have libraries that will take it if we pitch to them, or many times, like this one cello album I'll be working on this afternoon and a second album I'll be working on this afternoon. They were both pre-approved before we even made them, or as we were making them. Actually, one was approved before we even made it. So it's kind of like a show getting approved for several more seasons just because it was successful on the last season. This is the same thing. Many libraries are doing that. But I also have my own sub-label. And we have proof it works. We've had 300 or more songs accepted into libraries and delivered to libraries this year. So then that's going to be up in the 400 to 500 range, I think, by end of year. So why is Positive Spin Partners something you need to check out? Hey, I've been where you are. I built my own music production business. I took it to Nashville, and I worked with all the players and studios there. And I produced thousands of songs and hundreds of albums for people. But I started Sync just like this, in something very similar to this Partners program. It was in LA. Paid a monthly fee for a year so that I could learn the ropes and pitch songs, and I had some signed. And then I was able to really go and start doing it myself. And then I got signed by BMG, and everything kind of took off. Other libraries came in. My Sync PRO income has risen exponentially since 2020 when I first got signed. And now I'm working with partners, not necessarily clients, and we work on songs together every week. We have cool meetings like this weekly Zoom we have every morning on Mondays at 11. And we talk about what's coming up, what we've got going on, what happened last week, what's happening this week, and where I need help this week, where each partner can contribute songs to. So you really should take a look at it. It's just a very fun thing for me to do, and I would really suggest it. And I have a quote by Eli, who is one of our partners and doing a great job. He said, "Thanks for helping me get out of the pit." You might know what it's like to be in the pit of making your own music. He says, "The first question I asked you was, should I just hang it up and quit? And you were my last ditch effort. And look at me now, a 12-song album signed." Well, he's had way more than a 12-song album signed. He's had tons of songs signed, and he just got some money last week from a buyout. He says, "It's what I've wanted to do for a long time, but I was beginning to think it was just a pipe dream." Well, it's not a pipe dream. It's the Partners program. I just updated some information on the little Partners website, positivespinsongs.com/partners. And if you're ever wondering, Eric, you do all this talking. Do you actually make music? Do you really make music? You see me for 1 hour a week here, but yes, the rest of the time I'm making music for Positive Spin Songs. and soon our own sub-label. Like I said, I'm getting ready to go on a long trip for a week, and hopefully I'll be making some great relationships and probably a lot more work for myself and for all my partners. But before I go, and just in case you were wondering when you saw the thing for this video, I'm not dying. I'm not quitting YouTube, which is going around these days. And at least I hope I'm not dying, and I hope I'm not quitting YouTube. But I am hoping for a time of growth and some time. I hate taking a week away, to be honest with you. I hate being off for an entire week when there's albums and albums to get done. But I feel like I have to do this and kind of build more relationships and build them face to face. It's something, I sit in this room all day long. That's all I do. And so I just feel like this is the one time of the year that I can go and meet people. And so it's for all of us. It's going to inform not just me and my partners, but also you here on the podcast, because what I learn, you get to hear about and learn. So that's why this is called Before I Go. And before I go, I just want to talk to you a little bit about why I make music and why you make music. So here's why I make music. It's just always been there. Since I was 13, I wrote my first song with words, and it's for a girl. And a lot of them were for girls back then. But my goal in life was to be a published songwriter, which to me meant, or at least I hope it meant, getting my songs published by a music publisher, and then them doing stuff with them and sending me money. I thought it was that simple. And guess what? It kind of is. It's kind of that simple. With music publishing and what we're talking about a lot of times on this channel is sync music, but also we've talked about non-exclusive music and stock music and stuff like that. Same thing. You're sending your music off and they're sending you money back. That was the dream. But we're a little bit more focused now on bigger libraries, more exclusive libraries that are using our songs and having them be available to music supervisors who use them and put them in TV shows, which pay royalties, which come back and come to us in various ways. So that's been my goal, and my faith and my music and all that kind of my music goals. It's just always been there. Even when I was a kid, I messed around on the piano before I started formally writing songs. I actually thought I wrote Heart and Soul. That dun 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 dun. I thought I wrote it because I had heard it somewhere, and so I picked it up on piano and I taught everybody in the neighborhood how to play it. I thought for sure I wrote that song. We were driving around one day and this song came on the radio, and I said, "Mom, they stole my song." She goes, "Honey, you did not write Heart and Soul. Stop it." But the music feeds my soul. I sit at the piano and I make stuff. I sit here at the computer and I make stuff. I listen back to music that I forgot I made, or I haven't remembered or heard it in a while. And it's just there. I have to make it. You know what I'm talking about. You probably feel the same way. As a matter of fact, let's talk about why you make music. It's likely the same. You started making it. It was something you could do that other people couldn't do. And the music just fed your soul. And you would sit at your instrument or you'd work on the computer and you'd make these things and you listen back to them. And you just can't not do it. It's almost impossible not to do. Bradford Knight says, "I make music because I'm alive. I will die writing a song." In fact, I wrote a song with that title. Well, to some extent, this is a video that you could come back and look at if something ever happened to me, and it would explain why I am, why I am here, I think, is to make music and to make creative things. And I love that. Make music because I'm alive. And the only thing that can stop me is not to be alive. Not trying to have any negative type of vibes here, but yes, that's a great way to say it. I make music because I'm alive. But money would be nice, and it is nice. I make a music living. I work with partners. I work with clients. I work with people who need help making music. And if you need help, let me know. The only problem with making money with music is it can turn music into work. And you have to be very careful about that. But would be interested in the chat and the comments how and why you make music, especially the why. That always interests me. But one of the things I think that can really sabotage the whole thing, and I see this all the time. I see it with YouTubers. I see it with music people. I see it with my family. I see it with all sorts of people. I see people quitting music. And this is a problem. This is the thing that I most kind of have to fight with people, not necessarily with myself. I have to fight myself to stop I have to stop making music. It's like, Forrest, stop, dinner time and come on, come eat, Dad, honey, come on, let's go. Get off your computer. I haven't, I can't, and I won't quit. And I think I've got a ton of quotes here. Are you ready? Never give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about. That's by Winston Churchill. You can do what you can do as long as you can, and when you finally can't, you do the next best thing. You back up, but you don't give up. That's by Chuck Yeager. This is by Thomas Edison, who says, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. Boy, that's probably the best quote that there is for anything, but certainly in music. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Just like Eli did. He said, I had one more try. It was you. It was the Partners Program. And otherwise I was going to quit, which he shouldn't have. And then there's this quote, if at first you don't succeed, try again, then quit. There's no point in being a damn fool about it. That's from W.C. Fields. And to that I say, if you can quit, you should. I've talked about that on this channel before. But quitters never win because they quit. So if you quit, and here's a quote from Eric Copeland, you should not be able to quit music or any artistic thing you love if it is truly inside you. Just exactly the same thing that Bradford said. I make music because I'm alive. And if you are making music and you are alive, you should be making music if it's really inside you. So, quitters never win because they quit. You should not be able to quit music or any artistic thing you love if it is truly inside of you. Eric Copeland. See the sign. The sign is right there. Every video. It doesn't move. It is unchanging. The sign never gives up. Why would you give up? So don't give up. See the sign. It just really bothers me. Okay, we're getting into hot take territory here. It really bothers me when people do a thing and then they quit the thing. And then they talk about the thing that they quit. And then they quit talking about the thing that they were talking about, the thing. And then they do another thing. And they'll likely quit that. And now, listen, people are not wrong to pursue different dreams, to go from one thing to another. I see it happen. We live in a culture now where people don't do like my dad and work for IBM for 33 years. It doesn't happen like that. But I'll tell you, I've been doing music now for going on 50 years. And that can continue. You can have other jobs. I've had other jobs. I've had jobs from the time I started writing music. I was writing music before I started working, odd jobs at 14 or 15. And I've had jobs all the way up through corporate. And since then, even I've had jobs at churches. I've had jobs at schools. So I've had part-time jobs alongside my full-time music work. So you're not wrong to pursue different things, but there should always be this continued pursuit. Listen, it's so easy for us to not quit, but to go astray into other things. we have all these gadgets and toys and things, and I've been so guilty of this. I'm also a bit of a writer. I write fiction and I write nonfiction. Love to do that, but I have stopped over the past few years. I used to have a blog that I kept up all the time that was very inspirational, and I've stopped all those things. I used to write a lot of fiction and try to get it published, which I did. I've stopped that. I used to do a lot of other things, some live playing and some different things. I've stopped all of that, especially now that I'm not teaching anymore. I've really focused. I just ask my partners, and you can see what kind of focus we have and what kind of focus I have here on YouTube talking about it and relating to you our success stories and things like that. It's easy to be dragged into other creative things. And I'm not talking about like if you're, did I just see Alita in the chat? Like Alita, our resident master cellist who recently played at a Washington Commanders game. So she is famous, and also was who I was talking about in our partners program. That's probably had over 100 songs published in the last year in this program. Easily, besides myself, the person who's had the most songs put into libraries in the past year as part of this program. But also, Alita teaches cello. She has cello performances, like she performed at the football game, but also at weddings and all sorts of different things. She does many things, but she concentrates on the cello. Wolfgang concentrates daily on writing music and putting it out. That's why Wolfgang has 800, almost 1,000 songs in libraries and is having 5-digit BMI quarters. Yes, 5-digit BMI quarters. He shared, this is not a secret. I am not revealing anything he hasn't already told us here on the show. He had a $33,000 quarter with his BMI income. But that's because Wolfgang has not quit. If anything, he has dedicated his time and his life to what he's doing. And so he is focused on it. Alita is focused on cello and becoming a master cellist all her life. She didn't just pick it up a few years ago and say, I think I want to play the cello now. She started when, Alita? When you're in high school, junior high? When did you start? And became a master cellist and majored in it in school and all that kind of stuff. And now apparently wants to be a Washington Commanders fan. Go Commanders. Okay. Good luck with that, Commanders. But football is no different. All the players who play for the Commanders, the football game, they have focused on it. They never quit. They didn't put down the thing and said, I don't want to go to play in college, or I don't want to go and play pro football. Of course, they wanted to go and play pro football because it's billions of dollars in it. But there was a lot of work, and I don't want to get too far off here, but I think you're getting my point. People are not wrong to pursue different dreams, but you have to be laser focused on what you're doing, especially in music. Folks, it's too competitive. I'm getting ready to go to a place next week where there's going to be everyone who is me, who's doing what I'm doing. It's a little nerve-wracking. It's certainly different than sitting here and being the master of all I survey, and with my team and all my players in Nashville and stuff that do work with me, and I can control everything. This is going to be completely different going into rooms with people who are much more successful than me or as successful and do what I do. So yet still I have to march on. I have to soldier on. Because I have other dreams. I still want to compose more for the stage. After finishing my master's in composition a few years back, I fell in love with classical composing. Well, there's not a lot of time for that now because it is very intensive. But I would love to do classical and contemporary music for the stage. I think it's one of those last bastions for that AI can't really get into when there's people on the stage. And so that's one of my next dreams. But I'll still create my jazz and pop and probably still do sync music. I don't see any reason not to. and write personal things and write piano things. I'll still do all those things, but I won't quit just because I can't. So even if I wanted to, I can't. Alita says the 10,000 hour rule is true. You got to put in the work and be obsessed to a degree. Yeah. And you know what? Even Alita will say, ooh, I want to get into Logic and making a beat or doing this or that. And I'm like, Alita, play the cello. You are a master cellist, and not many people can say that in the world. Seriously. I mean, even Alita probably feels like that there are tons of people better than her, but in her city, in her state, she's up there. And obviously, among libraries, she is very popular. They love her work. And today I will be listening to a lot of it as I finish up putting it up to a library. The second of 3 that has been asked of us by a BMG library, which is very cool. So yes, I think you have to continue on your 10,000 hours and even make it 20,000, to be honest, and really go after it. All right. So let me just get to the last parts of this here, and then I will let you go and I will get back to work. But I think you have to do it because you love it. This is a really hot take here. This is what I tell my partners. Alita, even, I'm glad you're here because I'm using you as an example a lot, but she asked me just a little while ago, she said she started in 4th grade. She asked me a while ago, or this morning, or yesterday, I think it was, which song should I go to? I don't know which one I should do, because we're finishing up the Christmas album. She's finishing up her part of the Christmas album. So this is what I tell my partners when they ask me that. I say, what would you like to do? Do what you would love to do most. Pick a song that speaks to you most and do it. Folks, you have to make sure you love it as well. I know a lot of people, life is too short. I know a lot of people who make good money with music who don't love what they do, who it's just work. And I've been there. When I was in Nashville, there were many, 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 and still sometimes are projects that I do for artist clients that aren't necessarily what I want to be doing. But I have been hired by them and they want me to get it done and they want to pay me. And I need that money to pay the bills just like anybody. But I have been, since starting this Positive Spin Partners program, I have been able to change my life a little bit. And you can do this too. You can refocus your music into making the music that you love, and then that's a way that you can make money with it. And there's tons of videos on this channel about how to do that. But I've done it. I've been able to do it. I've been able to turn my clients into partners so that we work together towards making a long-term income. And believe me, folks, sync is a long game. So it's going to take a long while for this to become, and it's going to take us what? Continued work at it. You can't quit it. You can't just do 100 songs and say, oh, I did 100 songs, and then sit back and go, when's my money? Where's my money? And Alita is pre-money. I've been pre-money before in sync. It just, for those of you who've been in it, Wolfgang was pre-money. This is the first year he said he's gotten into these bigger payments and these bigger things. So you have to love what you do. I know people who retire from music, which I don't get. I don't see how they do that. How in the world do you retire from the love? It'd be like saying, that'd be like divorce. It'd be like retiring from your family. Say, I love you guys, but I think I've had enough. I'm going to go on and retire from this marriage or retire from this family. Or I've seen people retire and I don't understand how. And it might just be that they are tired. I guess I could get tired. I get tired all the time. Sometimes it takes a long time. It takes till late in the evening and meds to make me tired, but I get tired. But I know people who retire, they just don't do it anymore. I don't understand it. If you've seen that, put that in the chat. I or in the comments. I don't know how that happens. because I think if you truly love it, if it's truly in you, then you just can't stop. I'd be interested, Alita, if you're still in this conversation, if you feel like you could stop playing cello and be okay. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can. I know people who pick up music because computers let them do it and it's fun. But I feel like sometimes those people are just playing around at it almost as a hobby, which is fine, by the way. But they could leave it behind as a hobby. I used to collect basketball cards for a long time, for like 20 years. And now, after about 10 or 15 years away from it, I have them all around. I don't even know. They don't hold much interest for me. A lot of it was just that there was so much, but I don't do it anymore. I loved it. At the time, it was just, and I now know someone else who loves it and is just on fire about it, and they'll probably get all my cards. But I think true music people keep that obsession their whole life. I think you have to do music because you can't not do music. I think it's just that important. And it's why I do what I do. It's why I'm doing this podcast right now. It's why I continue to do YouTube. I don't need to do YouTube. I've decided I'm not going to be a YouTube build course guy, and there's barely any money made off of YouTube. I haven't got paid. I won't get paid this month or next month. No, this month by YouTube, because I'm not focused on just throwing tons of videos out there. I don't make short videos. I do make short versions of these videos. I edit them up real quick and make little, what I call shorters, make music income but shorter, and those do okay. But I'm not doing it I'd much rather have this be a feeder program for new partners who are talented, and if you are that, and that kind of leads me to my last point here. If you feel like you're at a place where you need help with your music, if you need help getting to that next place, then there's a couple of different ways that you could turn to. And one, of course, is, just going to makemusicincome.com. There's free stuff there for you. But also there is consulting there, and there's different things. But go there and see the services we offer and see if I can help you. You may not need or want to join our partners program, but you might want to just get some direction and guidance. That's something that you can do there. And there's free stuff there as far as there's the 50 ways to make music income ebook there, and all sorts of stuff for free. But also, of course, our Positive Spin Partners program, which I think is the most unique thing that I offer, that anyone offers. You see lots of programs online about I'm going to teach you how to do sync. I'm going to teach you how to write songs that do great in sync. And I'm going to teach, and I got a course for you, and I got this for you. I have a course about how I got into sync, but I don't push it a lot on this channel because it's just a direction I've decided I don't want to go. The way I do want to go is to work with partners like you that make music and can be part of our team. It's so fun having our meetings and saying, hey, I need a Greek album this month. And getting somebody says, hey, what about this? I came up with this today. That is so much fun. And then I take it and then I add to it and I produce it and all that kind of stuff and make sure it's ready. And then we get into a library. Or we're tracking albums in Nashville, and so we have 2 tracking sessions coming up. And then sometimes we have different partners who can do different things, and we have partners combine and work together. It is so fun. And I think this is where true music makers can thrive. And it is different than most programs out there. There's nothing really like it other than a library, which is what we're kind of becoming in our own way. Alita says, no, I don't have any thoughts of playing. We'll keep playing as long as I can. It's definitely part of the family. Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it. I guess there are physical ailments that could stop me from playing the keyboard and the piano, but there are other ways to input music. And, cello playing is an exercise as well. And so it's not easy to keep going. But I will tell you this, and I couldn't find the quote I was looking for. My wife showed it to me the other day, but it basically says the people who win and the people who come out of music that are better and more successful than everyone else are the people who never quit. That's how they won. They never stopped. Have you seen this happen to yourself, that you are continuing to have success with your music where other people aren't? People who you talk to and they go, I wasn't having success with it, so I quit 5 or 6 years ago and I'm happy. I'm fine. You know what? When I hear that, I think that music wasn't for them. It's not who they are. Because if it's in you, it's who you are. Just like it is life. It is you make music because you are alive, because you can't not do, or you cannot do anything else, or you can't not do it. So, all right, everybody. Well, that is about all I have to say. I have a lot to do to get 2 albums out before I get ready to go. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, and go to makemusicincome.com/free. And get some free stuff. If you and if you have any questions, you can email me there. Get in touch, and we can start going back and forth like that. I answer email every day. And of course, the Positive Spin Partners Program. If you are someone who's having trouble with your quality, getting your quality where you want it, but you know you're writing good stuff or making good stuff, or you're a great player. Alita came to me not necessarily not being able to play, but not being able to make recordings the way she wanted to make them, and then, of course, getting into sync and getting other opportunities. But she made those strides, and now there's no stopping her. You can't. She's a machine. She's Wolfgang on a cello. And so that's one of the most important things I think our Partners Program does. It revives people. It revives their music career a little bit. Eugene says, I make music because I love music and self-expression. Well, that's great. Be blessed. Well, thank you. And on that note, be blessed, everybody. Thanks so much for being part of the show today. And remember to check out the Partners Program. I just updated it a little bit on the Partners page. So go check that out and let me know if you have any question. Oh, one shout out and celebration and congrats to our friend, former co-host of the Make Music Income podcast, Stevie B, and his wife just welcomed their first child into the world last week or in the past few weeks, and saw a little picture of the little guy, and he's darling. So congrats to Stevie B, and we will see the rest of you very soon, probably. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Make Music Income podcast. Bye-bye.